Hey everybody, it's Patrick, and I wanted to come on and give you a little bit of a behind the scenes here at Journey to the Peak. It's very exciting what goes on, but it's actually helpful for me, I think, to share my screen and really help you guys get an idea of how you have. This is all about like channels, right? In business, it's good to have clear channels to your customer, and so those channels make way for like accessibility to make your life easier. And that's really the whole point of doing this this Journey to the Peak into Kajabi. So like right here, you see I'm on a screen where I'm uploading video of Shauna's practice from Saturday into a lesson that I've created. That's kind of like the way that Kajabi is. It's like a course. They are a software for people to put online courses together. And they also have like community features. And that's what I'm really trying to utilize this software for, to build and support us in Journey to the Peak. And so that we can keep evolving like where we're taking the conversation. There's something I'm learning a lot, and you've heard me talk about integral evolutionary theory quite a bit, and like these 4 quadrants. And one of the places that that actually plays out is in these quadrants that make up the interior individual and the interior collective. That's the left-hand side. And then you've got the exterior individual, the it space. And then the lower right is systems, right? It's the exterior collective. It's the systems that help us flow. And so for me, that's like one of the reasons why this feels really important. If I can evolve the systems in the lower right, and just bear with me with it. I know it's a little bit like academic, but this is the whole point of theories, is they help you to really understand something. If you have systems that support you, there's a correlate to the other quadrants. So the level can develop in those quadrants as well. It's kind of exciting stuff. So anyways, some of you won't care about this video, and that's okay. And others of you might find it interesting. And frankly, if like anybody knows someone who would be interested in like taking on some of this workload of like uploading videos into here, I'm looking to offload a little bit of that. And one of the things Shauna and I have talked about is almost like an intern position for Journey to You, or Work Exchange. Journey to the Peak, excuse me. Although I'm also looking for one for Journey to You. Okay, so what you guys have access to, I'm just gonna open a new window so I don't mess up this. I don't want her video to stop loading. So I'm gonna come, I think I go here actually. This is what your login page should look like, right? And since it's hosted on my website, you've got access to like a couple other things here. I've told my VA to make like, when you're in Journey to the Peak, make it as much just Journey to the Peak as possible. Because just in fairness to like me and Shauna and like where stuff's hosted, this just comes down to technicalities really. All right, so I'm gonna log in here. It saved my ID. And this is basically your home screen. Like this is what you should see when you log in. There's our Lao Tzu quote, which is so cool. If you guys don't know this story, I've been reading the Tao Te Ching in my yin classes. And this was just an obvious quote for Shauna and I to do some like light branding with, you know what I mean, as we were launching Journey to the Peak. Because our whole concept here is that like we are on a journey and we're taking that journey together. And the journey it has a trajectory and it's towards evolution. You know, it's towards transcendence, it's towards higher consciousness. And that's really one of the beautiful things I think about. We're trying to find channels to tap into that. We're trying to create opportunities and spaces and experiences where you can experience depth and a sense of relatedness. So more depth and more widespread relatedness. That's why we have things like the Sunday morning special. You know, that's why we have Dharma talks before class. And that's why we have monthly themes. We're trying to invite you into depth because the growth journey is the depth journey, in my opinion. Okay, so if you're ever curious about like the platform, there's a little orientation folder here, kind of welcoming you into the community. You can read about Shauna a little bit. You can read about me. Here we have our community guidelines, and this is really an interesting thing. There's supposed to be a video that goes here, but I was having a really hard time uploading the one. It was partial for some reason, but maybe I'll still put it up. But down below, we wrote this together. We wrote this in Journey to the Peak. We collectively strive to co-create a community of belonging and unconditional acceptance where people can feel safe to share anything. And so each one of these was kind of a contribution from the group as we came together. Our friend Liz Moyer at We Heal for All led us through a really beautiful session. So this is a great thing. Like orientation's not just for the beginning. Sometimes you have to come back and check your orientation. And that's why in a lot of spaces, they read community guidelines or agreements at the beginning of every single meeting or circle. What else is in the orientation folder? Any other goodies? Community values. Shauna and I recorded like a podcast-esque kind of video about our core values. Fun fact, this video I was on like day number 1 of this cleanse where I wasn't drinking coffee and wasn't like, yeah, it was, you can tell in my energy levels. But that's just this is like the, the DVD, like behind the scenes features. So yeah, I really love this. I'm so happy that we did this, and I'd like to start coming back to these in the Sunday morning special too, is like, we got to stay rooted in our core values as we take the journey. And these were basically handpicked by me and Shauna, and we had to do a lot of conversation around like condensing them into like the right word. I had to put time into this. Can you imagine, like, I had to go into Canva, I had to go make the font, pick the colors, choose the design, and it had to look good because again, it's like, this to me is reflective of depth and effort in other areas that's going to get us somewhere. So this is really important to me. Please check these values out if you're a part of the community. It's kind of like, not to make it sound harsh or anything, but there's like this almost gentle expectation or agreement that we all show up presencing and working towards these values, okay? As part of your role in this community. All right, what else do I got to show you here? Categories. Now, when you're ready to practice a class, go to the live class schedule and click on this. I should put an image here that says click here. Adding that to my list. Click here, image. If I don't put it on the list, it doesn't get done. That's just the way things are these days. Here is our weekly schedule. On Tuesdays, I teach a yin class. It's from 7 to 8. Interesting, you guys, I'm actually going to go to the studio in town and start teaching and streaming that class from there and invite other students to come in and practice live there. So it'll be a hybrid class and really looking forward to that. The yin practice is so special and like on, ironically, on fire for me right now. It's a big part of my journey. And it's like where I'm being called in towards the yin. And we'll keep looking at Tao Te Ching because it's just so poetic. It's such a transmission. Tuesday night, Shauna's teaching a 6 to 6:45, a 45-minute vinyasa practice. So you can get that online. Those are great because they're all going in the folder too. And sometimes people like those abbreviated classes. On Friday, I teach my Hatha Sutra study, 9 to 10:15. We are moving through the Yoga Sutras one at a time using Alan Finger's Tantra of the Yoga Sutras. And then I also use the Yoga Sutras app. And I usually invite conversation and discussion and reflection. And that's a big part of the depth journey too. So don't be afraid to jump into that. Saturday, Shauna's got a double header. So all of these classes are themed too, you guys. We're theming the classes towards the monthly theme. So I want to talk about that in a second, but like, just try to remember that a lot gets put into these classes. So when you're thinking about return on investment for you, like what's the value you're actually getting out of the class? Sometimes it's valuable to make that explicit, okay? Definitely with like something like a restorative practice. Oh my God, what is the return on investment in a restorative or yin practice? Don't even know, don't even know. Then of course on Sunday, the Sunday morning special, 9 to 10:30, everybody's favorite co-led yoga class where we get into the Dharma discussion beforehand and have a lot of fun. So yeah, and then like you go down here, Kajabi will suggest other videos for you to watch next. So once you've completed once you've done what you need to do in one folder, you go down here and you see, oh wow, what can I go to next? Here's a yin class, okay? I try to list the poses that we did in the yin class so that way you know. So that way if you need to repeat a class, you know what you want to do. Like, oh, I know I need my low back today. Okay, in this class we did Sphinx, Seal, Puppy Dog, Child's Pose. All right, that's the way that works. Similarly, let me click into one of Shauna's classes. This is actually kind of beautiful. I get a little like a tinge of happiness when I come into this class recordings folder For example, go into May, where we were working on Bird of Paradise, and you see all the classes that we taught. It looks like they put about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 classes on a screen, and then you press next, and it'll take you to the next 5. Next, it'll take you to the next 5. So there's quite a lot of practices. Go and look at the dates, because it will go until the end of the month. And then as soon as we get to a new month, oopsies. As soon as we get to a new month, you got to go to the other folder. Okay. It's kind of fun, is like you see me in like different places sometimes. For example, I was in London here. Yeah, once again. So you guys, if you ever need to like tune into the community, you've got all these classes, all these practices right here at your fingertips. That's why the community is $88 a month, you guys. Like there's a few reasons, but like this is definitely one of them. You have practices that you know work for you. That's why you're still here. Okay, so that's that. Bonus content. Right now we have a couple of bonus content featured things. First is our community member, Deb, did a podcast basically like on her experience in yin yoga as she was like reintroduced to yin through Journey to the Peak. So then she goes and she lets her people know about it. And this is what I'm talking about, like the ripple effect, you guys. You're being in a yoga community, in a growth community, it affects way more than just you. And that's, I think that's so beautiful. I put a couple of Dharma talks in here. We'll keep adding to these. Also, you guys, let us know what you're interested in, and then we'll put it up. Like, and I'm trying to make that very straightforward by getting you guys a feedback form every single month. At the end of the month, you'll get a feedback form. And if you just want to like type in your suggestions, like I know Bobby Ann got in here. Look at this. You can leave comments based on your practice. So she came in, she did the Kapalabhati breathing. She commented here, great breathing technique. No, she said great tank top, and then even greater breathing technique. So you guys happy to put whatever, maybe I'll put on my list to put Sitali breath in here. Really nice cooling practice. We were talking about the other night on a call. Okay, so if you have questions, let us know. This is kind of my job now. You know, and I work for you. And so I want to work for you in the best way that I can. And I think I can include Shauna in this too. As the leaders of this community, it's our job to keep delivering value to you in the sphere of yoga, which was so many things, which touches so many things, as you all know. All right, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Namaste. Talk to you later.